What if you could access potential probate deals before they go into the probate process, which should give you a leg up on potential motivated sellers? What if you could access this online without having to go to the courthouse? Well, of course, I have the answer for you. So you know what you need to do is simply stand by. Let's get it.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-52439. You know. 205-964-52439. You know.
Hello, guys. This is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Probates. And why do wholesalers / real estate investors love to target probate list? Well, it's simple. Motivated sellers. There's a high probability that you're going to find motivated sellers. So why does probate produce motivated sellers? Well, in most cases, someone has passed away and now the heirs have gained ownership to the property that they may not have any emotional attachment to. They may simply just want the money. The property needs repairs. They have bad tenants. I think you get the point. They're just motivated to sell a property that a loved one has left to them. So what does probate actually mean? Well, I want to give you the official definition and then the actual street level definition. Okay, so we're at old Google here. So here's the definition or the purpose of probate. Probate is the legal process through which property is transferred after a property owner's death. Generally speaking, probate calls for the gathering of all assets, paying off debts, and distributing any remaining assets in accordance with an estate plan and the law. So that's the actual official definition. So let me give you the street level definition. Again, in a probate situation, that means something needs to happen because someone has died and left real estate, whether it's one property or multiple properties, and the heirs, the remaining family members or whoever, have decided to put the property into their name to just own it, to possibly sell it, or to refinance it. So in order for that to happen, it needs to be in their name. So the probate process has to start. Now, if the actual owner had a will that was recorded before they passed away, that simplifies the probate process. But if it's a situation where there was no will, then the actual probate process has to start and the heirs will gain equal ownership of the property, which means if it's multiple people, then they, number one, have to agree to sell, and then they have to agree to sell at the same price. So what you want to do, if possible, is catch them in the pre-probate process before they actually start the probate process. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a list of pre-probate owners. Now, before I get into the actual video, make sure if you're here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell, select all so you are alerted whenever I upload new videos or when I go live. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, follow me there for daily content at Ask Flipman. So on to the video. Okay, so now before we get started in the demo and showing you how to build your pre-probate list that you'll be able to target, a couple of things here. Now, you need to know where you can access the actual platform, which is Digilate, aka PropStream. But let me make sure, and this is very important, before you go any further, is that whenever you're reaching out to these individuals, you're not reaching out to them and say, hey, I know your dad just died. Do you want to sell your house? No, you're not going to take that approach. You have to just present yourself as an all-in-one solution. Yes, you do buy houses if they want to sell. but you can refer them to someone if they need to move furniture. So you would build a relationship, a network with a moving company. If they need a probate attorney, you'll want to go ahead and network with a probate attorney. Trust me, it won't be a problem to say, hey, can I refer business to you? I buy houses, blah, blah, blah. A title company, same thing. If they need someone to cut the grass, you want to definitely have a relationship with someone that does lawn care, or maybe even a contractor. So you want to have these niche of actual services that could assist them, because guess what? Maybe they don't want to sell it right now, but because you presented yourself as an all-in-one solution, if they do decide to sell, because initially they may be emotional, we don't want to sell daddy's house or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But 6 months from now, when those bills start to pile up, guess who they call? The person that was going to offer answers to a lot of their issues when trying to possibly liquidate or deal with a house that was left to them. I just wanted to make sure you understood that. So if you want to access the platform, once you're going to see the video in a minute, I just had to get this in. You definitely go to dearyourlady.com. You can start the 5-day free trial, but you want to watch this video also so you'll understand how to use the actual platform. That's the worst thing you can do, is waste your time on the 5-day free trial and don't know what you're doing. If you want to access my contract that I've been using since 2003, it's right here, the closing detail sheet. Remember, my deal calculator is here also that you can access. And if you want to partner with me on deal, and of course the deal calculator, it lets you know if you have a deal or not, simply put. If you want to partner on deals, you can go to the Send Deals tab. You see the list of cities here, which is pretty much everywhere, of cities of any distance size, need cash buyers. Hey, we can partner. And the CRM system, probably the most important tool that I have going right now outside of the batch leads and PropStream. All right, so whenever you're getting leads in, you need to be able to manage your leads. If you're managing the leads, you're going to create great follow-up, which turns into more deals. Anyone that's going to scale up in this business, being able to make $100,000 a month or even high 5 figures a month, you need to have a management system. So whenever your leads are coming in, those leads need to be separated. Your abandoned sign leads need to go into one pipe funnel. Your probate leads need to go into another pipeline. Your cold calling leads need to go into another pipeline. Your text messaging, your voicemail, other wholesalers, Bird Dog, all of those need to be in separate pipelines so you can track to see what's working, what's not working. If it is working, you need to do more of it. Not working, you need to correct some things. Also, within those pipelines and some of the other features is that you're going to be able to communicate with potential sellers through text messaging through this system, through email, through ringless voicemail. But what I really love about it, on your actual calls that you can make through the system with just a click of the button, it records the call. So if you have a VA working for you, or even just a partner, you can go back and listen, or for yourself, you can go back and listen to the call and see what was actually said, the tone of the call, especially if you're going to work with VAs. Now you can see if they're doing what they're supposed to do, and do you need to correct some things on what they're saying or what they're not saying when they're talking to potential motivated sellers. On top of that, you can build a cash buyers pipeline that will allow you, whenever you get a deal, that now you can send out a text blast, or you can send out a ringless voicemail or an email or whatever. So it does all of this and more. I just wanted to make sure you understood how valuable the CRM system is. And you can access it right here at dearyourlady.com. Just select the CRM tab. So on to the actual video. Get over here to Dear Your Lady, aka PropStream. So if you're not familiar with the actual tool itself, I have more videos on dearyourlady.com to show you how to use it. Also on text2flip.com, which I'll show you here in a second on how to access those if I haven't already. So we'll just choose the county that I normally operate out of here locally, one of the counties. And so what I did was, and you always have to do this, let me make sure you understand. So you have to put in the actual name of the county, and then the word county, comma, and then the state. And did I spell that right? I didn't. Then it'll populate. It should populate down here. Okay, so you select it. So it pulls up all of the properties in this particular county. Okay, so then you go over here to filter. Okay, so a couple of things here. Now, the quick list is where you're going to be able to select the pre-probate, the deceased owners. But as you can see here, there's so many other options here: on market, vacant, liens, pre-foreclosures, auctions, bank-owned, cash buyers, high equity, free and clear, bankruptcy, divorce, tax delinquencies, flippers, failed listings, senior owners, vacant land, tired landlords, zombie properties, and then the pre-probate, which is why you're here for this particular video. Okay, a couple of ways you can go about this. Owner occupied, which means the properties that we're targeting are either going to be owner occupied or non-owner occupied or both. If you just say any, you're choosing both. Now, they're also called absentee owners. An owner of a piece of real estate can only have one homestead. Any other additional houses that they own are considered absentee properties. So whatever you're building your listing, you can just do any if you want. The person passed away and, one of the owners, which it could be multiple owners, and it's a possibility that it could be vacant or soon to be or needing to be sold because it will be vacant. Then there's a situation that may be a spouse and one of them passed away, but the other one is still living. So I would recommend building two separate lists, right? You'll build one where it's non-owner occupied. I mean, it's an additional property. And then you'll select yes on a property that they were actually living in when they passed away. So for this video, we're going to build the one where they didn't, it's an additional property or properties, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to select that one. I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so I don't care if the house is vacant or not. You can do this if you want to build a list, or I like to do any. When I say vacant or not now, I mean the additional property could be vacant or occupied with a renter, a relative, or whatever. I don't care if it is. I've probably done more deals with the property occupied than vacant or whatever. So it doesn't matter to me. I know we do videos on, driving for dollars for vacant housing. That's the only reason we do it that way, because it's very inexpensive for you to start trying to find leads that way, but also they're easier to identify that they're possibly vacant, maybe boarded up, broken out windows, high grass, or a combination of those, and so on. Maybe a fire damage. So you assume that this house is vacant, so it may be a reason why someone may be motivated to sell. But for the sake of this, I don't care if they're vacant or not. Okay, so all right, so the property characteristics, property classification, I want to select residential, and we're targeting single family on the property types. So you select that. All right, the next category is the MLS status. I want it to be off market, meaning it's not listed by a real estate agent, so I'm going to select no there. All right, pre-foreclosure bank owned, we're going to automatically eliminate that whenever we do off market. And on the pre-foreclosure side, I don't care if it is a pre-foreclosure as long as the numbers work. I don't really like going through the short sale process to make a deal, but that's up to you. All right, so we're going to the owner information, and we're going to do owner type. I want to do individual. I don't want to do corporate. That'll be your LLCs, your incorporations, and so on, mixed use or trust. I just want to do individual, right? Also down here, I want you can play with this. It said number of properties owned. You could say 2 to 5, or you can just say 2 to max. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to say I want to target people that own multiple properties that is deceased. So it goes from 2 up to however many. If it's 100,000 properties they own, it's going to pull it up, because what that'll do, it'll allow you to get into being able to do multiple deals on multiple houses. So I'm going to say 2 to max, or whatever the number is. All right. The next thing you could do, but I really don't worry about that. You could do absentee owner location. You can only target people that have died that live out of state as the owner, or out of the county, the same counties, but still live in the state, or local. I'm just going to leave it open, but I just want to show you that particular feature also. So now I have all the criteria that I really want here. I guess I could go in here and do equity info and have estimated equity. Let's say I want to do at least 80% equity here. Now it has a free and clear option up here, but it won't allow you to select both up here. There's the free and clear option up there. But if you want to do just totally free and clear, you could do 100% equity. So I'm just going to do 80. That's a lot, right? Okay, so now I go back over here. So it pulls up 579 people on the list. So now what do you actually do with this? So what you would do, you would select this, and then you want to go add to list. All right, so if you already have a list name that you want to place it in, you would just select it down here that you were going to place in. You see I got a lot of lists here. But then you want to create a brand new list. So I'm going to say, so I can find it. Let me do space. We'll do $ space. We'll do Jefferson County. Just code. And I like to put the date. So I'll put the date up here first. So this is 04, what's the down the date? 26, 21. All right, and no, it's 25th. And then we'll say probate, pre-pro. All right, so I'll save this. So it just takes a second to save it. So once it's actually saved, so now that it's saved, all right, so I'll go over here to my properties, and then under the marketing list, I need to find it. All right, there it is right there. So I select it. All right, so once I select it, now, what I like to do is, because if you don't, it's going to produce a lot of information you don't need, right? So what you can do in here, you go over here to the little cog here to pull up the settings or customize your layout. And I want the city to stay. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I want to skip trace this list, this is the information that I need to skip trace. I don't need all that other stuff. And plus, it's just easier to read that way. All right, so I want the city, state, zip. I want owner, one first name, owner, last name. But you could get tricky because if it has multiple owners, the person that you're targeting may have not died, but it really doesn't matter. You just want to get it to one of the owners. I want mailing zip, mailing state, mailing zip, mailing city. And then the rest of it, pretty much, let me go down here. Property characteristics. I want the lot size, and really I don't have to have this, but I go ahead and include it in the list. And the effective date, really you don't even have to have that though. Tax assessment, nothing. Land report, nothing. Open loans, nothing. It's up to you on this, but for the sake of skip trace, I don't need any of this. So you see all of this I've unchecked, right? And so once you do that, now you'll go down here and you can save the layout, right? So you go in here, you do new layout, and you can put a name in there and then just save it and then apply it. All right, so once that's done, you can apply and save if you're trying to create a new layout, so you can always revert back to it and then make it the actual default. Then it'll always just build a list that way and export it that way. Then you hit apply. So then once you do that, you select all, and then you would export this list. Once you export it, depending on what browser you use, you're gonna have to find it in that folder, in your download folder where it goes to your desktop. Now that gets into the technical side of how you use your laptop or PC or whatever, so I can't get into that part of it. So now what are you gonna actually do with this? All right, a couple of things. If you're going to just send out letters, that's one thing. You can do that with the list. If you want to actually text message the list, I have a video here at my site, texttoflip.com, and this same video is on my YouTube channel. So you will go there and just look for that particular video, Text to Flip, and it'll explain how to set everything up from skip trace and everything. Now, once you have your leads, and this is just a probate lead, you need a CRM, or I recommend a managing system to do that with. So you can go to dealyourlater.com and select CRM. And what it's going to do is going to take you over here to this site. And what the CRM will do, it'll allow you to build pipelines for each type of lead. So if you have your probate leads, you're going to have your pipeline for that. If you have your bandit signs leads, you're going to have your pipeline for that. Cold calling, text messaging, other wholesalers. You can have a cash buyers list. And what also within the CRM, which it does a lot of different things, is going to allow you to communicate with sellers and cash buyers through either text message, phone calls that are recorded in the system. You can drop ringless voicemails. You can email them. All of that. And so especially with your cash buyers list, when you get a deal, you can send out a ringless voicemail to everyone. You can send out a text message to everyone, or an email. So that's going to be very important to you putting all that together. Now, so you have the list built again, and it's just going to depend on how you want to actually target the list. Is going to be totally up to you and how you're going to put your marketing together. So this is how you target the pre-probate leads, just basically getting them before they go through the process of someone else may have initiated the probate because they're trying to buy it. You can catch them early. So hope this video particularly helps. Remember, you can always text me at the 205-964-5243 for anything. If you need more details on this, on where to get the CRM or the text messaging, just text CRM to that number, or text the word text to that number to get instructions on how to set up your text messaging campaigns to do it correctly. Makes it FCC compliant and legal. So thanks, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.